grab onto the handle there. It's pretty comfortable. You can tip the aluminum out. Hello, this is MakerJ11 and I just got some steel scrap because I got something really cool that we're going to build today. This is a graphite crucible. I've been waiting to buy one of these for so long. I've been wanting one, but I finally decided, you know what, after a couple of failed steel crucibles, I was like, you know what, this is just a waste of time. Why don't I just buy one? It was $58 on Amazon. This is a number 6, 8 kilogram clay graphite crucible. So it can melt, according to the thing on it on Amazon, it said copper, brass, and aluminum, and anything less than that. So I don't think I could melt steel in it, but should be plenty good enough for what I'm going to do. So today we're going to make some tongs for it. So I looked around on Google to see what kind of tongs I wanted to make, and this was the one that I found that looked best to me. So it's a single person can pour with it, and it's for a smaller crucible, and it looks pretty nice. So I got to figure out how to make this because somehow it actually grips the crucible, and I think that's actually, there's a lever or something. I think this part right here actually swings back and forth. There's a hinge, and so I need to figure out, yeah, so something with the handle there, I think. So we'll see what we can do. Cobbled together with some steels that I just bought at Home Depot. So, alright, so I just made these two pieces out of, like, I think it's 1.25 inches. Yeah, it's 1.25 inches wide by like 1/4 thick, no, 1/8 thick steel. And bent those into circles, so that's gonna, or arcs, and those will grab the crucible and pick it up from the bottom. So the tongs will come down over the top, and then it'll clamp onto the crucible, and it'll pick it up. So it's a little bit smaller down here, so we should be able to pick that up here, clamp it a little bit with a little bit of force, and then should be able to lift it up without it falling out. So that should work. So now I got to build something to go around the top here so that the crucible doesn't fall out when you pour it, and then something to connect down to these, and some sort of mechanism to hold them shut. Okay, so this is the idea. So we're going to have these pieces of steel up here, which will sort of hold the crucible in. And then we're going to have some things coming down to these clamps. So one will be stationary over here, and then the one over here will actually pivot some sort of mechanism that I'm going to make. So the next thing I'm going to do is weld these together so I have a good frame. The nice thing with steel is you could always cut it apart and re-weld it if you need to. So I'm just going to weld it together, and we'll see how this goes. This is actually the first thing I've ever welded that is actually going to be used for something. Before they had a little class here at Hack Pittsburgh, and I took that, and I just got to weld some pieces of metal, but nothing useful. So this time I'm actually going to try making something. And this is the welder that I'm going to be using. This is a MIG welder, which is metal inert gas, and that's fairly nice, I think. It's got the carbon dioxide bottle over there, and then you can see it's also got the automatic feed, which is really nice. So that's what I'm going to be using today to weld this. Okay, so I fitted a welding mask on top of the camera so I don't blow up my sensor. So we'll see if you guys can see anything. Welding! Welding! These are the tongs I made. I made these at Hack Pittsburgh using the MIG welder, and this is just made out of, I believe this is 3/4 inch tube stock, and I believe this is 1/2 inch. And then we have a little bar here of steel, and the tongs are also made out of, I believe that's like 1.5 by like 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch steel. So all the stock was probably about $20 at Home Depot. Not the cheapest place to buy it, but it works. And this is pretty much the first thing I've welded together ever. So the other thing I have on here, so basically to actually pick up the Crucible, you pretty much just, you have tongs there. So there's a bolt here that it pivots on. You can see the bolt. And then I have a stop here, so that, because some people have told me that if I don't have a stop there, it will, when I grab the Crucible, all that force is, when the Crucible is hot, it can be soft or it'll crack. So this bolt here is to adjust, so it's basically a stop so that it don't crush my Crucible or make it crack when it's hot. So basically all you do is you pretty much just take it and so then you grab onto it like that, and there we go. So I think that should work pretty good. So pretty much just grab onto that, onto the handle there. It's pretty comfortable. You can tip the aluminum out. And then I also, some of the designs I saw on the internet had a bar straight across the top, but the thing is, I wanted to make it so that I could basically not ever, once I pull it out of the coal forge, I don't have to set it, or I don't have to set the Crucible down, scoop the dross off the top, and then pick it up again. So with this cutout here, I can basically pull it out of the forge, clean the dross off, and then just pour, and I don't have to set it down and pick it up again. And also, that gives me stability while I'm pulling all the dross out, so I don't tip it over. So, yep, that's how it's designed. Alright, so here we go. Let's see if my contraption works. Put my hood down. Pole's kind of getting in the way. That's not too hard to shove it down to the bottom. Alright, so looks like there's a bunch of dross on top now after I did that. Or not dross, just ash. Skim that off real quick here. Or rather, we could even skim this off while it's not even in fire. Alright, so let's see how hard this is to lift it up. That's not too bad. Alright, now let's pour some aluminum with my brand new contraption. That's heavy. Go. Ooh, it's a bit on the awkward side, but it does work. Try grabbing it. That's better. Then we'll leave a little bit of aluminum in there for the next batch so that it melts quicker. So we'll put it back in the fire.